right, hello, and welcome to the Northland. I am currently on my way to have some cosmetic surgery done. The name of the place is called St. Customs. They're located in Rockford, Minnesota. I have not been here yet, so I'm not exactly sure where it is, but anyway, once we get there, we will go in and we'll talk to Tyler. He's the owner of the establishment, and hopefully get a look at behind the scenes stuff and see how they do this. We're gonna have some lighting done. Yeah, it's not gonna help me go faster, but hopefully it'll help me gain some attention in car shows. So we'll see how this works out, and I've seen the work that they've done on other cars, and I was very impressed with the kind of work they do. So we'll get there, and we'll get this figured out, and hopefully you'll like it. So stay tuned, check it out. All right, everyone, I'm here at St. Customs, and I'm going to talk with Tyler. I'm going to ask him some questions. The car is finished, and I'll be posting a video later on all the cool stuff that he put in. So let's see what he has to say. All right, Tyler. So tell me a little bit about your business here.
My business. A lot of people think that we only do custom lighting, but we do everything as far as accessories go. We do lifts, we do custom lighting, radar laser detectors, window tinting, vinyl wrapping, car audio, remote starts, car alarms, things like that. Basically anything that you can think of aside from motor and suspension work. We don't touch those.
Okay, cool. So how did you get your start? I think you were telling me when I was asking you questions first, you used to wire police or emergency vehicles, is that correct?
Yep. So just like most of the people in this field, started out working on my own vehicles, working for buddies, doing car stereos and little stupid stuff like that. I think around 2010, I got a job working for a small company down in Cottage Grove building squad cars. So we just focused on like Cottage Grove Police Department, Newport, things like that, building everything that you see. So basically what would happen is the dealership would deliver us a brand new vehicle, stock just like you would buy anywhere else with a little bit of modifications. And by the time that was done, it was ready to go. Computer systems, GPS tracking, radar, gauges, gun locks, anything. So after that, kind of went in and out, did that for a long time. And in 2018, I decided to leave that, start up my own thing, and it's grown, and here we are.
Awesome. Yeah, I bet wiring that stuff took a while. I mean, that wasn't a quick job.
Yeah, no, well, I'm really thankful that I went through that, because there are a lot of standard procedures, and there are things, really, really high expectations. Those are heavy-duty vehicles. Those are things that are put to the test every single day, and they are relied upon for the safety and performance of our law enforcement, fire trucks, ambulances, all that stuff. So it's got to work. I'm really happy that I went through that, simply because I can take those standards and apply them to this. So while there are a few other places that do this kind of stuff, I like to think that we have a lot higher of a standard, simply because that's the only thing that we've ever known. So anybody can throw in an Amazon kit for $35 online, but it is not going to be the same light, it's not going to be the same quality, it's not going to be the same installation. And I say that with confidence because I've worked on a lot of cars. So,
well, I know. Now I met you initially at the Minneapolis Mile Car Show, mm-hmm. And I was really impressed when you showed me like the wiring. Everything is professional. It looks like it's all a part of the car. It's not, like a third grader did it. And I'm really impressed, especially like with the headlights, because I know they're very expensive.
Yes, they are.
How did you ever get over the hurdle of, okay, I'm going to crack open this $1,500 headlight and see if I can make it cool?
Well, That's an interesting question. I started out doing my own stuff, and as time went on, I did a couple. Then I started building the squad cars like we talked about. That involves a lot of modification to expensive things. So we're taking a brand new 2021 squad car. We're drilling, 4 holes in the roof, light bar holes. We're cutting out holes in the bumper for push bumpers, things like that, modifying everything. So if you're wrong, I mean, you're dealing with a body shop, you're dealing with very, very expensive things. Eventually, it becomes second nature. As long as you're very careful, you make accurate measurements, you do everything that you can preventative-wise while you're going, and just being very meticulous with what you're doing, it's not bad. As I started getting more into the newer vehicles, doing more muscle cars and really expensive headlights, a lot of imports, things like that, my brain was just so used to, potentially screwing up thousands of dollars worth of things, and I was just like, okay, well, this is just another one of them. So it's all about being very, very careful. It's all about taking the proper steps of planning. You're not just going to go in and just start doing it. You have to look at the headlight. You have to analyze. Every single one of them is different. There are different opening methods for each individual vehicle, and you have to plan. You can research. There's a ton of things to do, but you always be very meticulous with your planning before you even start, because if you don't, or if you do something wrong, or if you cut the wrong thing, or if you bake open the wrong thing, you do anything, you crack lenses, you break internal housing pieces, you're buying it.
Yeah, and you don't want moisture getting in there, and
you don't want moisture. You want it to function exactly as it did when you got it, or better. And that's how we look at it. And if it's not doing that, then something's wrong, and we're going to change that to make it perform the way that it should.
I think I told you that I had ordered a kit online from a shop or from a dealer that I won't mention, and there were no instructions with it. Mm-hmm. And one of the reviewers said, "Oh, just throw them in the oven, and you can break the seal." And I was like, "Yeah, I'm not going to do that with my $1,500 headlight."
Yeah.
And so I took it to a shop, thinking, well, maybe they got an idea, and they didn't even want to touch it. So when I met you at the car show, I was like, I got to get this. Obviously, I knew it could be done because I've seen other cars with it, but I had no idea who did it or how it could be done. So this is really cool. So
yeah, there's not a lot of us out there. You look online, you can find a ton of builders, but as far as that goes, there are people that can open headlights, and there are people that take it seriously. You got to worry about sending your lights. I mean, you could have easily taken the bumper off, taken the headlights out, and shipped it to some guy in New Mexico, and he could have built them for $400. But the issue with that, 1, you don't know what he's doing. 2, you don't know if he knows what he's doing. And 3, if anything were to go wrong, then you're dealing with that. Is he gonna warranty this? Am I gonna send it back to him? Is he gonna get it done? Is he gonna, there's so many different unknown things. That's why I wanted to tap into the market here. There's only a couple of different places in Minnesota that do what we do here, and the benefits of doing it local. There's a ton of everything that I named off: warranty issues, personal time with your builder, seeing exactly what you want, talking through things, modifying things as you go, having the ability to look at it in person and see exactly what you're going to get, so that there's no surprises. We do online sales and things like that, but the personal level of things that you can get is just it's a lot different. So,
and if anybody was concerned, like warranty wise, like especially with the headlights, I think you have been so very easy to work with. So if anybody was concerned about that, what would you tell them?
If they had a headlight issue?
Yeah. I mean, if they wanted to, if they were going to bring their car to you and say, okay, I want these cool headlights, but they're concerned about maybe a year, 2 years down the road, what might happen to their headlights, what would you tell them?
If something's wrong and it's something that we did, we're going to fix it.
Okay.
It's plain and simple. It's going to function the way that it should, and if it doesn't, there's an issue, and if that's the case, we'll look into it and we'll find out what it is. Like I said before, the only thing that we don't cover is physical damage. Electronics are never perfect. Manufacturers have their warranties. We have our warranties, so they all kind of coincide with each other. But as far as installation goes, we cover our stuff. Um, there's very few things that we don't cover. Say 5 years down the road, and for some reason an LED fails, we'll have to look at that, see what caused it. If it was nothing related to us, just like anybody else, we'll take into consideration. We'll take care of it. There might be costs related to the actual components themselves, but yeah, it's just kind of a trial basis. But if it doesn't work like it shouldn't, then we're going to take care of it. That's basically in a nutshell.
I need to mention, you work extremely hard, and I am very impressed with the level of customer service you've given me. For example, for those watching, Tyler sent me some pictures last night this morning at 3 a.m. And so he was still working on the car then to ensure that he could get it to me today like he promised. I don't know of anybody anywhere that has that level of commitment. What drives you to do that for people?
I have had really negative experiences with businesses in the past where they'll tell you one thing and it's not always that way. Basically, I've gone to a car dealership. So, no, just kidding. But I like to stick to what I say as best as I can. If it's an uncontrollable situation.
So I covered in an earlier video why the project was taking a few days longer than planned. One of your employees passed away unexpectedly. Do you care to talk about her at all?
Yeah. Her name is Sammy. Sammy's great. She's the mother of 3. She was our detailer, and she had just the same amount of drive that I did. I can account for more than once where we had a car or an entire shop full of cars, and I'd say, hey, we got stuff going on. She'd show up exactly, she'd be like, okay, let's do it. And I remember specifically a couple times where we're sitting out here, she's gotten everything that she needed done in the shop, and it's 10 o'clock at night, and she's out in the parking lot working. And I'm like, Sammy, there's another date, we can do this tomorrow. And she's like, no, that's cool. And I'm just like, okay, and that's the type of people that I like to have with me. It shows our dedication to our people, and she's one of those people that is honestly irreplaceable. So when that situation happened with her and she was taken from us, it was hard. And for a coping mechanism, I like to just dive back into work. And sometimes you can't do that. There are other people and things that need to be taken care of. And we had a celebration of life, and we had things that we did for our kids and things like that to prioritize. So I explained the situation to you as we were going, and I kind of gave you a heads up and talked to you about that, and we just kind of went from there. But that's one of those things where I feel that that's more important.
Definitely. I think it was really cool what you did, and the whole helping to purchase things for her children and the fundraiser. It just, to me, it shows that we're people, and the people are more important than the material objects like cars and cool lights. And so I was very impressed with your level of commitment to your employees. So that's really awesome. So
thank you.
As far as a legal standpoint, we touched briefly on, obviously red and blue headlights and things like that aren't legal. If anybody had questions as far as like the state of Minnesota, what are you familiar with it? Obviously nobody can hold you to, whatever you say here, but as far as you are aware of, in the state of Minnesota, what is legal as far as running lights on the road?
So there's a few different elements to that. As far as auxiliary lighting and different lighting aftermarket installed on the vehicle, let's take it second by second. Headlights. Obviously, we changed the function of them to where they're going to do different patterns for turn signals and things like that. And the running lights, it's going to be white to the front or amber to the front, red to the rear, amber to the sides. the Minnesota state statute signifies specifically on those fronts what it wants, where it wants it, how many you can have, things like that. So what we've done here with the headlights in their operating standard is completely fine. And now it does have different modes to change, to do different colors, different patterns, things like that. That's going to be a no. As far as the underbody and the other accent lighting, there's a big debate on this, but if you look closely at the state statute, it's really not clear. They talk about lights being displayed, what colors, things like that. So if you wanted to take it to the letter of the law, it says that, you know, in layman's terms, you cannot display any light emitting, you know, I think it's 200 feet from anywhere displaying certain colors. Well, if you're a good installer, your lights are not displaying anything at all, ever. You're just seeing them glow. So if you wanted to argue that, you could run anything you wanted. Now, I wouldn't suggest that. If I know a lot of my customers will do white or amber, somebody with more complex kits where you can control each individual component separately, they'll run red in the rear, they'll run white in the front, they'll run amber on the sides. I don't see why that would be a problem at all, simply because that's replicating exactly what the factory's doing. It's just shining differently. Like I said before, you can go into a lot of different things as far as displaying and, you know, the words that they use in the state statute, and you could argue it all day, I'm sure. But as far as that stuff goes, I know a lot of people that run amber, they run white, don't have an issue.
That's a really good point about the different colors and the different, like, back and front, and so that's something I didn't think of. Do you have social media or anything you care to share with people? Phone number?
Yeah.
Let's see, we got.
This is the spelling. That's our phone number here. We're on Facebook. You type in Saint Customs, look for that logo. Instagram, same thing, Saint Customs. It's I think our handle is saint.customs.mn. We're on a couple different things: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, things like that.
Okay. And I have your business card, so I'll put as much information I have in the comments below. So I'll put your links down there, and yeah, this has been really cool, and I can't wait to play with it. It's gonna it's
that's
pretty involved.
Yeah, that's
so
the fun part. That's why we do it. Yeah.
That first car show next year is going to be awesome. So.
Yeah, I'm excited for it too. Yeah, she's gonna look pretty.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you for your time. I'll hopefully get this video up, you know, in I don't know, a few days, hopefully by the end of the weekend anyway. So if you care to see it, I'll send you the link, and
right on,
we'll go from there. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, so I hope you enjoyed the interview with Tyler at Saint Customs. Again, keep in mind, they do more than just lighting stuff. Car stereos, wraps, remote starts, anything basically that's not performance oriented, as I understand it. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to him. Even if you live in another state, if you have questions and you want a trustworthy, reliable source, I trust this guy. I mean, I can't tell you. I know how hard he works. Like I said, he sent me pictures the other night at 3 a.m. in the morning, so he was still working on my car at 3 a.m. I don't know of any other business or business owner that has that kind of dedication or work ethic. So, again, this guy's awesome. So watch for the next video on what he did to the car. I'll be loading that up in maybe a week or two. I'm still trying to learn the system, all the ins and outs and special features and all the cool things that that come with what he did. Once I get that down, I will video that and I'll upload that. So make sure you smash that like and subscribe. Smash that like button with anything you have handy, even if you didn't like it. Share it with anybody you think may have an interest, and thank you for watching. And we'll see you in the next video.